All right, you're good to go.
All right. Thanks, Olivia. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our virtual town hall to discuss the new Masters of Biomedical Science program at AT University. I'm Dr. Michael DePalma. I'm the program director, and I'm also a physician assistant, which if you're here, hopefully that means that's what you're aspiring to be. I've been a PA for over 20 years. I've spent many years in education as well as clinical. Most of my career was in clinical. And I've had some administrative and leadership roles as well. Joining us, we also have Dr. Michelle DeBase. She's our department chair and program director for the Arizona School of Health Sciences PA program. We have Sarah Amini Rod, who is the program manager for the Masters of Biomedical Science program, and Olivia Rosen Anderson, who is our moderator for today. She's an admissions advisor, and she'll be helping with any questions that anybody has. So if you have questions and you're bold enough to unmute yourself and ask, you are certainly welcome to. If not, please enter them in the chat box, and Olivia will be happy to ask them at the end. So I am going to turn this over to Olivia for a few slides, and then we'll get into learning more about the Masters of Biomedical Science program.
Thank you, Dr. DePalma. So I'm just here to tell you a little bit about our background and history of our university. So again, our university's name is AT Still University, and we get that name from our founder, Andrew Taylor Still, who is the founder of osteopathic medicine. We do have three residential campuses. One is in Missouri, which was our first campus, and then our campus in Arizona, and then we do have a campus in California as well. All have different programs. So I'll tell you a little bit about those. This slide shows you all the different colleges that we offer. So Kirksville College of Osteopathic Medicine, we call that KCOM, and that is our DO program in Kirksville, Missouri. And then we have School of Osteopathic Medicine in Arizona. We call that SOMA. That's our DO program in Arizona. The Arizona School of Dentistry and Oral Health is our dental program in Arizona. We call that ASDO. The Missouri School of Dentistry and Oral Health, we call that MOSDO, is the dental school in Missouri. And then we have the Arizona School of Health Sciences. This college encompasses a few different programs, such as physical therapy, occupational therapy, physician assistant, our PA program, and audiology, as well as SLP, speech language pathology. And then this program, the master's program that we're learning about today, also underneath the Arizona School of Health Sciences. And then we have the College of Graduate Health Studies. That is going to be some more online programs, like our Masters of Public Health and more. And then the College for Healthy Communities is our college out in California, and that's our PA program in California. And then this is our mission statement. All of our campuses are very mission driven. Our staff members, our students, and our faculty are all on the same page when it comes to our mission. You can read it there, but I'll just highlight a few of the things that are underlined. All of our programs are dedicated to preparing highly competent professionals. We're very committed to our osteopathic heritage, as well as whole person healthcare, diversity, and underserved populations.
Great, thanks, Olivia. And we're going to kind of come back towards the end and revisit this mission statement as it relates to the mission of the Masters of Biomedical Science program. So if you're joining us, hopefully you have read or researched a little bit about the program, but what is the MSBSM program? It's a fully online asynchronous program. It's rather aggressive by design to help prepare you and get accepted and to succeed in PA school. So it's a 9-month program that's completed. You're completing 45 credit hours. And really designed, again, for PA. So it's for those students, as we'll go through the next few slides, who need to improve some GPAs, demonstrate a sustained academic record. If you've applied to PA schools and you were told that maybe you just need to demonstrate your ability a little bit better, this is certainly a program that can help you with that. So why was this program developed? And it's really, the answer is competition. If you've applied to PA schools already and not been successful at getting in, you know it's a very competitive program. If you haven't applied yet and you're starting to research, you're going to find out how competitive it truly is. There's currently 303 PA programs, and that's still projected to be around 324, 326 by 2024. They're adding a number of programs. But if you look at the number of applicants for each application cycle, it's around 30,000 and growing. Only 11,000 get accepted. So that's about a third, a little over a third that are getting accepted, which means 2/3 are not getting accepted. And if you look at the graph, you see how the trend is continuing to go up. Even though there's more PA programs that are out there, there's more applicants that are out there as well. So this is creating more of a competition for those available slots. Our program really is designed to help students identify, areas that they can improve their application. So when you look at some of the data that's out there, almost a third of students have previously applied to PA school. These are students that have gotten accepted. So they didn't get accepted the first time in. On average, they've applied for about 2 years. So this is, added time in between. And what are students doing, prospective students doing with that time during that 2 years? The other aspect that we really focus on is academic performance. So once you actually get into PA school, how are you succeeding? Graduation rate of the PA programs is about 93%. So if you think that's 7% that are not graduating, why are they not graduating? Some students are not graduating because of academic reasons, academically dismissed, and that academic dismissal is around 5%. So we wanted to develop a program that could help not only for you to get into PA school, but also to succeed, so that you're not going through issues with academic dismissal or struggling academically, or having something called deceleration. And deceleration is a term that they use in PA school that can be either short or long term, meaning that you have to either repeat a class, or long-term means you're actually coming back and repeating an entire semester. You're fortunate if you get invited to come back another year, but that's another year that you're paying for PA school and another year before you can begin working. So a program like this can actually help you grant a master's degree and help improve those chances of succeeding academically. So the real question is, how can I become a more competitive applicant? And how can I get accepted? So, if you've applied and been told you have some areas of weakness, then this is a program that can help you identify or to improve those areas. So GPA is always one of the big ones. Of those 303 PA programs, many of them have minimum GPA requirements. Most of them probably do. There are several of them that do not have a minimum GPA requirement, but they do have standards. And if you look at what their averages are, they do tend to accept higher GPAs. So if you need to improve GPA or coursework, science coursework, advanced science coursework, this is a great program to help out with that. I mentioned at the beginning of the talk about this record of academic success. Taking a class over a summer at a community college is great, but a program that's going to take a chance on an applicant with a GPA that may be a little lower than what they're typically accepting wants some proof that you're capable of succeeding with a heavy course load. And this program can do that. By design, we're very top heavy with our credits so that you can demonstrate early on that academic success. And then our medical writing course focuses on your personal statement. So, I think this is a strong area where someone who's have reviewed PA applications in the past, I can tell you, I at least put a lot of emphasis in the personal statement. Why do you want to become a PA? What drove you to that? And having proper grammar, proper punctuation, things like that are always kind of a key, because that stands out when you're reading through things. So a course that's kind of designed in medical writing, but also has that benefit of working on that personal statement. Those are all big areas that our program can certainly help you with. Other areas, just for completeness sake, of how you can become a competitive applicant that are outside the scope of our program would be healthcare experience. Most PA programs look for shadowing, look for working hours, whether it's volunteer or paid. Mission-oriented activities, they weigh very heavily on applications, and they can sometimes balance out some areas that might be a little bit less or a little weaker on your application. Research is another component. We don't conduct research in our program just because it's 9 months and it's not conducive to setting up any type of research. But research as an undergraduate or any postgraduate work that you may have had can look very favorable on a CASPA application. And finally, what I like to recommend to everybody is ask. If you've submitted an application and it hasn't been accepted for an interview, or you've been to an interview and you weren't accepted into the program, ask the program, what can I do to improve my application? Many of them, the reviewers will probably suggest a lot of the things that I talked about here, but for specific review, ask and you can get some real-time feedback. Okay, so let's talk about the program. And as I mentioned, we're looking for students who are interested in going to PA school. Whether you've tried to and been unsuccessful, or whether you recognize that you need to improve some areas, or whether you're just looking to take that extra year before you start a PA program, this program could certainly help. Our advanced science curriculum helps to improve that undergraduate science coursework that you may have had. Some courses you may not have had. But it'll at least update and take your knowledge a step further into a graduate program that would be more on pace with what you would expect in a PA curriculum. The rigorous pace of the PA curriculum really helps challenge students and prepare them for the challenging pace of PA school as well. So you're learning some time management skills as well as being able to balance multiple course load at the same time that you may have had as an undergraduate, but at least in terms of PA school would be a little bit more on par with what you can expect. And then, I think one of the best parts about the program is the online and asynchronous format. We're in our first year right now, and many of the students are reporting that they enjoy the time of when they can work on their own. Assignments are typically due weekly, so having the ability to complete those at their own pace is very helpful and very beneficial. So our PA or our MSBSM curriculum was developed with the PA curriculum in mind. As I mentioned, I'm a PA and I have taught in PA programs, so I know very well what the curriculum to get into and through a PA program is like. And we designed our particularly science courses around coursework that students tend to struggle a little bit more. There's two areas where students in PA school tend to struggle. One is with the volume of material, and the other is with time management. Content aside, learning time management skills is essential. And if you are in PA school and trying to learn those skills, it becomes very difficult. If you can develop those skills before you get to PA school, then you really have an edge or a leg up on a lot of your classmates. Our social science courses really help to balance things out as well. As I mentioned, the medical writing, we also do medical ethics, social behavioral determinants of health. Those are two courses that I'm really excited about because they really encompass what we as practitioners do on a daily basis with treating our populations. As Olivia mentioned at the beginning, our focus on whole person. Well, we focus on all the populations, and if you're practicing in inner city New York versus in the middle of the middle of Texas, where your closest provider might be 2 or 3 hours away, it becomes very difficult to treat them in the same manner because you don't have the same resources. We learn all that as PAs, but learning that at the same time you're trying to learn medicine can be very challenging. So I think having a good grasp on those concepts before you get into PA school will really help you develop your skills as a clinician, because you'll already have learned those factors that play into it. And finally, we have 3 capstone courses that really hopefully get you excited about being a PA, because they focus on team-based care. They focus on learning more about what PAs do in various professions. It's not just treating patients. There's PAs in administration, PAs in research, PAs in the pharmacology or pharmacy industry. There's a lot of different options that are out there and available. Our program will start July 15th, 2024. So application window is open now and will be open through June 14th. The way ATSU, if you're not familiar with the program outlines, we operate in 10-week blocks. So fall block 1 starts July 15th and goes to September, and then fall block 2, that's a 10-week block. You get a week off in between. Fall block 2 is another 10 weeks, and you get a few weeks off in between before you start spring block 1 and spring block 2. I have the template on the next slide that'll explain that a little bit better. And then graduation is set for June 6th, 2025, and that's in Mesa, Arizona, and that will be live. And we encourage all our students to participate in graduation. So here's our course schedule, and it might be a little bit small, but I really want to kind of highlight these first 2 blocks. As I mentioned, they're 10-week blocks. You're taking 15 credits in block 1, 15 credits in block 2, 6 classes, 15 credits. That sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. And again, it's by design. During this kind of part of the program, you're going to be developing that record of sustained academic success, and we really work with you and hope and want you to succeed in the program. So if you're able to demonstrate 30 credits in a compressed time frame, this is when you're going to start applying to PA programs, and this is when you can start using that on your transcripts to say I've completed this many credits. Spring semester, we still have some important courses that we're finishing off with: pharmacology, physiology, and then finally the last block is only 6 weeks, and that's the final capstone course, and that ends right now in early May. So that would give you the ability to begin a PA program anytime from May up to the end of the year, assuming that you would have applied during that time frame. This is a text version of what I kind of just went over, but it shows that those 5 courses, 6 courses, 30 credits out of the 45 are in that first semester, basically from July to December, and probably a big chunk are the importance of what we want you to be able to demonstrate to PA applicant or PA school applications. The course load is going to be similar. Typically in PA school, you are juggling multiple courses at one time. So you do have to learn to manage your time a little bit better. And that's, again, why we set the program up this way. Because of the intent of wanting to really demonstrate your academic ability, at this time, we don't have an option for part-time or deceleration. And again, I'll use that term. If you have to drop out of 1 or 2 classes, you would have to wait until the next year to re-enroll in the program, because the intent of the program is to demonstrate that you can handle that heavy load of credits. So really during this time, you're developing those good time management skills, good study habits, which are essential in PA school. I think our faculty is one of the big strengths of our program. We have a varied mix of faculty that include both PAs and experts in their fields to really balance things out. So we have PAs that are both in clinical practice and in academia. We have non-PAs who teach anatomy, biochemistry, some of those advanced courses that lend themselves to needing an expert. And then, if you look at the distribution in our specialties, we have 5 PAs. We have 1 pharmacist who happens to actually be a PA. So, I think that gives a unique perspective of teaching what you need to know as in pharmacology as to PAs and as a PA. And then we have a PA who has a master's of jurisprudence in health law, teaching medical ethics. So we really tried to assemble a group of experts to provide the best experience for the students. Who should apply? Really, this program, we talk about this gap year. It's not really a gap because you're not taking a year off. We look at it more as a bridge year. So you're bridging your undergraduate, or if you've been out of school for a while and just need to kind of dust the cobwebs off and get back in, used to taking classes again, this is a perfect course or perfect program to refresh in some of those courses that it might have been a while since you've had them, strengthen any undergraduate coursework that might have been weaker or might have been, some time in the past. And really, a program like this adds an extra year of maturity if you're coming right from undergraduate and you just need a year before you jump into a heavy professional program like a PA program. This gives you the ability to work from home or do your coursework kind of at your own pace. We have very few prerequisites. Anatomy, really, because you need to have a good grasp of anatomy in PA school. So, in a 10-week course of teaching anatomy, we want to refreshen or refine what you've learned, and it's very difficult to teach that. English composition, very important, because although medicine has kind of gone to a lot of electronic medical records, communication is extremely important to cut down on medical errors. And so, we do have a lot of emphasis on writing in our program. Those social science courses do a considerable amount of writing. Our GPA is now a 2.5. If you had been on our website earlier, you might have noticed it was a 2.75. The goal with that, if you have a 2.75 GPA, depending on the total number of credits and science credits that you have, you would roughly need around a 3.6 in the master's program to elevate your overall GPA to a 3.0. Again, that's depending on the number of credits that you have coming in. I use 3.0 as the benchmark because that's the ASHS, at the Arizona School of Health Sciences PA program minimum requirement for GPA, and many of the programs across the country have a 3.0 as a minimum. So if you have less than a minimum in many programs, your application would not be reviewed. So the goal is to get you to a 3.0. Back to the 2.5. As I mentioned, there's a lot of PA programs that do not have a minimum GPA or have lower than a 3.0. This program is perfect to be able to demonstrate, yes, I might have stumbled a little bit in undergraduate. I might not have the best undergraduate GPA, but if you do well in this program, because there's a lot of PA programs out there that look at your whole academic record and what you've accomplished, this can certainly be enough to warrant an interview, or for some programs to say, yes, I think you would be a good fit for our program. So with that in mind, we lowered our GPA entry requirement to a 2.5. We talked at the beginning about the mission, and the reason why I bring this up again is because you as a PA, you should have your own mission. As a prospective PA, as a PA student, you should have your mission. What do you desire to practice in, and where do you want to practice? And then how does that mission fit in with the programs that you're applying to? When I was on the admissions committees for PA programs, I would often tell students or prospective students, you're interviewing our program just as well as we're interviewing you. It needs to be a good fit. You don't want to take a chance on going to a program that you say, it just doesn't feel like this is the way I learn, because of the way their courses are lined up, because you're setting yourself up to struggle. Not to say you won't succeed, but it's going to be more of a struggle. So if you can get a program that aligns with your mission, then I think you do much better academically. So I use the same concept with our program. Does ATSU and does our mission align with your missions and your goals for the future? You may have noticed on the website that we do offer the guaranteed interview to the ASHS. It's only to the ASHS PA program. At this time, it's not to the California PA program. You must have a minimum GPA of 3.5 in the master's program. What that means is you have to actually have completed the program. So you have to get through the program, and the interview would be awarded after you have completed the program. So if you're applying in the same time that you're in the program, you may be granted an interview, but if your GPA is lower than a 3.5, even if you get the 3.5, you have to meet the minimum requirements. Then you would have to wait until the next year, assuming that you meet the minimum requirements. Financial aid, I don't talk about financial aid other than to say it's available through the university. Financial aid is very individualized. And I think one of the highlighting factors with ATSU is they have counselors who will meet with you one-on-one. My biggest advice, if you're worried about paying, and you should be, because it's a big chunk of a financial commitment between now and going through PA school, is to set up a meeting with one of the advisors and discuss and review what your options are. Finally, it wouldn't be a program talk without a few disclaimers in here. And, you know, I just want to highlight that this program it's a great opportunity for aspiring PAs. Okay. If you want to go to PA school, this program has been designed for you. It's not, we can't guarantee that any of our components would be accepted by dental, osteopathic programs, by any other health science programs, because it was really designed with the intent of strengthening and getting into and succeeding in a PA program. And then finally, you know, that I just want to reiterate, the guaranteed interview is for graduates. The guarantee is based on graduating from the or from the MSBSM program to get into that. So if you meet the minimum requirements, it's possible that you could get an interview prior to then. And that would be on your own merits, not necessarily from the program. Ultimately, I'd like to finish off with, you know, our goal is to help you reach your goal. This is what we tell our students all the time. If your goal is to get into PA school, our goal is to help you get there. We want to see you wearing that white coat. Okay, here's some contact information for you. There's my email address. Sarah's email address is the program manager. We have a program email. And then if you have any questions about the admissions process, online inquiry email is there as well. You are welcome to email any or all of us with any specific questions, and we'll be happy to get back to you. Final slides on questions, but I'm going to go back to the email slide just to let you keep those emails up. So any questions? And like I said, you're welcome to unmute if you'd like to, or you can type them in the chat.
All right, I guess it doesn't look like we have any questions.
Okay, either I did a good job reviewing or I put everybody to sleep. We're very excited about this program. I think our first class, it's really helping students to learn some of these important skills, and we're really excited to be able to follow them and their progress into getting interviews and hopefully getting accepted to PA schools. So